Hey, Mike here. So I was doing some reading earlier today, and the notion of cascading resignations came up. The idea being if one person quits, others people become exasperated and will also quit. Maybe exasperated isn't the right thing, but burnt out, like whatever it is, something happens. And I know I've been there in past jobs when somebody quit. There's some anxiety associated with it because it creates uncertainty, because suddenly something changes inside the team, and it could be significant. So in this live stream, I thought I just want to explore for a few minutes. How do you prevent that cascade from happening? Because if you're a leader, if you lead a team, what you do can cause the cascade, or it could either slow down or prevent the cascade from happening. Even if you're in the midst of a cascade, your actions can make a difference in what happens next or not. So, the context of this question actually came up because of the Great Resignation, right? We've all heard about it by now. And the concern is that the Great Resignation, or what's going on with so many people quitting, could actually amplify the cascade, right? Could cause it to become a bigger problem. And so I thought, let's just explore for a few minutes, how can you as a leader prevent it, or at least slow it down? To do so, I think a good place to start is to look at what are actually the causes of the Great Resignation. There's many different opinions out there about this. So I've picked five things that seem to be common in my reading about what's causing the Great Resignation. So let's take, for example, toxic culture, right? Toxic culture can take many forms. People are overworked. People are expected to excuse me, put in exorbitant hours. There's a lack of respect for people. Like whatever it is, it comes in many forms. Excuse me. It comes in many forms. And what you do as a leader in this situation could have a significant impact on how toxic or not the culture is perceived. So, for example, if you view the person who left as one of your best employees, right? They were a top performer. I don't know what we're going to do without them. Here's the thing, if you hold on to that, whether or not you did before, if you continue to hold on to that, because let's face it, they're leaving, so they're no longer your best employee or top performer. If they're leaving, that's not the case anymore. If you hang on to it, the thing is that's going to leak out through your actions, through your words, through your thoughts, whatever it is, and people are going to pick up on it. The impact of that, they're not going to feel respected, right? Great. My leader doesn't care or doesn't believe I have what it takes to help move us forward, right? It creates an inequity in the dynamic that's there, in the culture, right? Even though the person's gone. So if you do hold on to thoughts like that, first of all, drop them, right away, drop them, and view who's there as capable and competent enough to carry your organization forward. You will continue to succeed. Pardon me. So that's number one, toxic culture, right? You want to prevent a cascade, take a look carefully at the impact of your actions on the culture. Let's go to number two, job insecurity and reorganization. It's possible as a result of this person, people will instantly start worrying about what's going to change. Am I going to move up? Is a new person going to come in and do something to change what's going on? Whatever it is, what I would offer is be honest and transparent. If you don't know, you don't know. If you're thinking you're going to reorg, get the people involved sooner. Because here's the thing, if you're going to reorg the team, the people who know best how to organize are actually the team, not you as leader. So get your team involved with that discussion. Take some of that job security or insecurity and reorg anxiety out of it. High levels of innovation. Sometimes what I've seen when teams are reorganizing or somebody leaves or something happens, what leaders do is they turn towards innovation and say, well, we're just going to have to innovate and find better ways to work, to do more with less, that kind of thing. And the truth is, that very thing, right, pointing towards innovation could, in fact, thing. If you're asking them to innovate, you're asking them to get out of their comfort zone. And if they're already tired, if they're already burnt out, if they're already worried about the impact of this person leaving, you're pushing them further out of their comfort zone. And so they're going to be, in fact, less happy. Innovation, when somebody leaves, because somebody leaves, is rarely the right answer. I won't say never, right? But it's rarely the right answer. So when it comes to innovation, be careful about its use here. One thing I'd offer is, perhaps if you haven't been doing this, take the time to do a retrospective on how the team's working and start them on a path to improve. It's not going to fix the problem of this person having left. You're not going to suddenly find efficiencies. But if you're not doing that anyway, that's the problem. So it may not hurt to start thinking about it. If you don't know what a retrospective is, Google it, search for it. There's a ton of resources out there about it. Number 4, failure to recognize performance. So one of the things that's driving the Great Resignation is the fact people are working really, really hard and they don't feel appreciated for what they're doing. The thing is, they're doing the best they can within the system they work within. And if you don't recognize it, they're going to feel disrespected. Like, I'm working really hard and nobody cares. With somebody leaving, how many times have you heard this? Well, I guess we're all just going to have to pick up the slack. Right? I don't know one workplace where there is slack to pick up. Right? This person leaving left a gap. The reality is you have less capacity to do the work that you want to do. So rather than push them to work harder, to try to drive performance up, don't go there. Instead, take a look at what can you reprioritize? What can you stop or slow down? At least temporarily, until you backfill for the person who's leaving, and involve your people in that decision. It's complex, it's not easy, but I guarantee they'll know places that, well, we could pull back on this and it won't have a big short-term impact. And by the way, if the answer is we could pull back on this and it won't make any difference, I would actually ask a different question. Why are you doing that to begin with? So recognize their performance. Make sure people feel appreciated without sending them down a path of having to sacrifice their personal time, work-life balance, if you will, for the sake of outcomes remaining the same, because they're not. And then finally, let's go to the last one here, the poor response to COVID-19. Now, I thought about this one, and I was wondering how it was going to fit within this topic. Persons left, everyone else is remaining, right? Here's the thing though, for 2 years now, coming up on 2 years, we, at least here in Canada and North America, we've been in lockdowns, we've been in restrictions, mandates, we've been arguing about, do mass work, don't do work, vaccines, all those things. People are burnt out. And so don't forget, the people who work for you, they're feeling burnt out. And so be very careful about this person leaving, pushing them further, burning them out further, adding more stress, whatever it is. It's going to, but don't make it worse than it needs to be. Anyway, that, right? This idea of people are going to resign, it happens all the time. It happens every day, right? All over the world, people quit their job and move on. Right now, it's worse, right? The great resignation, and it might be worrying you if you're a leader of a team, right? Am I going to lose people? Am I going to be able to find more people? Whatever it is. All I know is with certainty is the people you have are far easier to keep than it is to find new people. So don't make it hard for people to want to stay. Even if somebody's left, make sure you put your attention on those who are there. That's it. If you found this valuable, check out leadingforchange.ca. It's my website. I put a link into the description. Check out my website. Lots more tips like this. Sign up for my newsletter. It comes out 5 days a week. It's just a small little soundbite. A good way to start your day, because I know you're busy. You don't have time to read great big blogs every single day. Check it out. Would love to see you there. In the meantime, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you again soon.